Hi, everyone. This is a Leadership with Heart podcast, and this is Heather Younger, your host. Employee experience is powered by emotions. Managers and or leaders within organizations get to choose which emotions they unleash from within the people they lead. Leaders, meaning supervisors or above in an organization, drive much of the positive or negative emotions by their actions or inactions, their words, or what they fail to say. When a manager chooses their words and their actions carefully, they exhibit great emotional intelligence. These managers are often thought of as leaders who care, or as I like to call them, leaders with heart. This special brand of leader drives engagement and loyalty simply by being themselves. Are these leaders perfect? Absolutely not. It is in their awareness and sharing of some of their imperfections that we realize their brilliance. In this podcast, I ask you to see yourself in the stories my guests tell about times when they were not the best versions of themselves, but how they used their hearts to guide them to a place of deeper connection with their teams and heightened leadership prowess. Enjoy. Hello, everybody. This is Heather. Welcome to the Leadership with Heart podcast. So today is a solo show, not a very long show, but hopefully it's a one that hits the nail on the head for you. So this week I was watching, actually last weekend with my kids, I was watching the movie Gladiator with Russel Crowe. It's been a long time since I've actually seen that movie, and I forgot how inspirational it was, actually. And if you haven't seen the movie, the foundation of it is that he was someone who was very close in with the emperor of Rome, basically with Caesar. And he was set to be the next emperor after that emperor passed away. But the emperor had a son, and the son just wasn't a great leader. People did not want to follow him. And the current emperor knew that his son could not lead. And so he told him that he would not be leading, and he said that Russell would be the one who would be the emperor, and he was not a part of the family. He really wasn't part of the bloodline, but he was just someone who had risen through the ranks and had impressed him through his leadership capabilities. And of course, then what happened is the emperor's son killed him because he didn't want anybody to know that he wasn't going to be the emperor. And then he pretty much outcast the person who was Russel Crowe, who played the person who was going to be the next emperor. And he ended up going and kind of being sold into this like slavery, where it's like being a gladiator, and he was forced to do that. And it ended up where he ended up going and being a gladiator, rising through the ranks as a gladiator. So he just continued to rise up, and he ended up fighting in the Colosseum in front of that now emperor, the gentleman who killed his father, and who was not really worthy of the position. And it made me think so much of how people can lead, and they can lead from any place without a title. And in this case, Russel Crowe didn't have a title. I mean, he was a general originally, but then as he was outcast, he was just a gladiator. He was looked at as a slave, someone who was forced to do the work. But in the end, he was able to bring these other gladiators along and produce a super strong team. And here's a couple things that he did. And so I just want to highlight that because I think these are really critical. So he took the time to build the trust. He built the trust by doing what he said he would do. So he let them know there was going to be a particular plan, a particular strategy. And every time he went about executing on that, the result that he promised actually happened. And the other thing he did is he put himself on the line for the team. There were many different instances where he would throw himself really in the middle of the Colosseum in the fight, and make sure that his other people, the folks that really were his followers from a distance and right there in front of him, they were not having to get into the fight, or they would not die, because he was putting himself on the line, because he knew he had superior capabilities, but he also had a deep belief in the power of team. And the other thing is that he showed them what was possible when they worked together as a team. And so what he did is, at one point, I remember a scene where it was going to be very unfair, and they were really all going to just be wiped out. They brought in lions and all these types of things that really were meant to just make sure they all died. But what he said is, if we work together, if we form a strong circle, a strong barrier, and we do not go off course, and we do not leave each other, and we stand by each other in the middle of this Colosseum, we will prevail. We will succeed. And that's exactly what happened. And the emperor, who just was not very happy that took place, it gave everybody a pause to think about, wow, this guy who's a gladiator, no one even knows he's wearing a helmet. They all stuck together. They followed him. At that point, he had no title. He was just one of them who had demonstrated superior skill, who had built trust with the team, who had shown the team what they could do if they worked together, and had put himself on the line for the benefit of the team. There is really no greater compliment from a leader than to set your desires aside and to put the team first. And guess what? The team members know, and they will go over and above, and they will then throw themselves on the line for you. So those are some of the reflections I want you to have. This is a quick one, but it's really powerful when you think about whether you have a title or not. It's not the title that you have. It is, how do you demonstrate trust? What do you do for your people? How do you show them what's possible in the team? How do you create that broad stroke of the vision for them to understand what is possible so they can feel like they're part of something bigger than themselves? And that being in that group with people who are like-minded, focused on winning, allows winning to actually take place. So that is my reflection for you today. My thought, hopefully it gives you a little bit extra motivation coming up now in the holiday season, getting us through these months of the pandemic. But my wish for you is that you have a great holiday season with your family, that you stay healthy mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and that you do that by knowing that you are a leader and that folks are always watching. You have the ability to show up in a way that produces greatness inside of them as well. So be well, and thank you so much for joining the Leadership with Heart podcast. I truly do appreciate you. If you'd like to learn more about the work we do at Employee Fanatics around helping leaders lead with heart, go ahead and visit us at employeefanatics.com. That's employee, FANATIX.com. We look forward to seeing you. Definitely reach out to us. And don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter as well. We do send out a very robust newsletter with lots of great insights every single week. Be well.